Yeah, but I have to. I can't say his name. So
You'll bleep it out. Don't you know how to edit? Do you want me to put Shakira on for you?
check.
He's Raven, you gotta be like.
Sweet Josephine. How about Sweet Josephine? I like that. Yeah.
Sweet Josephine.
Yeah.
To you, it's terrible.
No, but that's a nice one.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Okay.
So Sweet Josephine and
It's horrible.
Dr. Braven.
Bravid.
Oh, Braven.
Raven.
Dr. Braven.
Not E-N-I-D.
Okay. Dave, are we rolling? Mm-hmm. Okay. So tonight we have one of the more serious episodes. I have with me here Sweet Josephine.
Hello.
And Dr. Bravid.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about an ayahuasca ceremony, which Bravid has experienced firsthand. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you have not.
Right.
I have not.
But you've heard about his.
He has. Yeah,
Okay.
he has told me.
And are you interested in doing this at all after hearing his experience?
Yeah, I would consider it.
Okay. So we're drinking Kava because we always have
Cheers.
Kava Bula.
Cheers.
What is it? Is it Kava?
What did you put in this bowl?
Is it real?
I slammed this one. Could I get a... Oh.
We're here at Shell's Kava Bar, and we're drinking Kava, and we're gonna conduct this next episode of whatever we're doing. So I don't know anything really about this. I didn't even know the spelling. It's
Right.
Ayahuasca.
Yes.
Is that about right?
You got it first time.
So what is it? That's the name of a plant?
All right, so it's actually the name of two plants, two roots that for some reason, thousands of years ago, people in, I think it's originally derived from Brazil, they found that when they boiled these two roots together and drank the gross concoction, that it caused severe hallucinogens. It's actually been called the strongest hallucinogenic in the world. It's the chemical name is DMT, deoxy, and I knew.
The spirit molecule.
It's also known as the
right?
spirit molecule, the God molecule, the death molecule.
The death molecule.
It's got a lot of aliases.
Right.
And for like thousands of years, shamans have been giving the drink out in shamanistic rituals involving one guy basically pouring it out and groups of people taking shots of it. It's actually not too dissimilar. Well, no, I'll back up on that.
Is it disgusting?
It's
Is
pretty
it safe
bad.
to drink?
It's pretty bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't make this easy for you.
No, you didn't.
So, how long? You said it's been a long time ago. How long has this thing been around?
Oh, like thousands of
Hard to
years.
gauge, right?
Very hard to gauge. Yeah, they don't. I think scholars retain that its whereabouts are completely unknown
And when did it come into the Western
as
world?
far as where it was derived from. When did it come to the Western world? It's actually making a rise in the Western world right now. If you go to Silicon Valley, I'm told it's all the rage. Everybody knows about ayahuasca, and what I was saying is its chemical format is DMT. Again, I don't know what those letters stand for, but
Right. But we can fact check that.
we can do that.
We can do that stuff.
We'll edit all this.
Yeah.
So the way it works is, okay, where do I start? So
Well, just tell me, how's the plant consumed?
in these ceremonies, in an ayahuasca,
You drink it, though.
ayahuasca ceremony, you drink it. You take a what's that? Dimethyltryptamine. Thank you.
Dimethyltryptamine.
That's right. So there's the two roots,
And they're mixed.
They're mixed. One is dimethyltryptamine. That's what actually causes you to trip, and the other is an MAO inhibitor, which you see the thing of it is DMT is a very interesting molecule because it's actually being produced in all living animals and plants.
It's already in your brain.
They don't know what it does, but we're producing it naturally.
And that's 100% true.
That's 100% true. You can Google fact that.
It's being produced in your brain,
It's being
along
produced-
with all the other chemicals.
Well, let me get into just a small breakdown. I'll try to explain it a little more thoroughly than that. So we all have these receded third eyes in the back of our brains. We used to have, the way eyes developed was fish would be swimming and they'd want to know when when sunshine was blocked out, because that would indicate there was a predator immediately above them.
Right.
So they would have these sensors which basically detected when sunlight was dimmed, which would tell them when to run away from predators.
Because something's above them.
Right, so that's how the eye originally derived. It was just a warning mechanism. That eventually evolved into the bifocal and peripheral views that are used by animals on land. But this third eye was, it was superseded by the bifocal, the other two eyes.
Right.
And so that kind of receded into usage. It's funny because you can actually look up, there are lizards and other reptiles, less evolved animals, I guess you could say, which still have the third eye, like right here.
Yeah.
It still detects sunlight, and it would also.
But it's not an actual eye.
It's an actual eye.
It's an actual eye.
It's an actual eye, but it's not used for looking around. It's only used for detecting when there's sunlight or when it's night out. Because when it's night out, it can detect the fact that there's a lack of photons from being emitted from the sun. So it tells the animal to go to sleep by producing melatonin, which is what this third eye also produces. Now, this third eye, it's since receded into the back of our brain. It now sits at the base, like the back base of our skull.
Because we're not using it.
Well,
is that why?
The question is how much we're using it, because it's still there and it still provides a very important function, one of which is sleep regulation. So it actually, this portion of the brain, we should really look that up too. I can't remember.
We can fact check and stuff, where you can just say, this is just what we've heard.
We have this receded portion of the brain, which now is in the center of our brain and basically is a receded third eye. It's responsible for producing melatonin and DMT. Now, we don't know why we produce for DMT, but at any given time, all of us have DMT running through us. We don't know, again, what it's theorized that it's responsible for consciousness. They don't know what it's.
So one day, maybe if we could get a scientist on this show, we could talk to him about it.
Sure.
Right?
Is that the end of the interview? What this thing in the back of our brain does is it produces melatonin and DMT. Melatonin, which regulates our sleep cycle, actually puts us to sleep and causes us to dream theoretically, and DMT, we get 2 heavy dosages of DMT, and this is all conventional knowledge, once supposedly when we're born, and once the moment before death. They think it's responsible for the flash you get before death, when you see your life flash before your eyes. It's this incredibly powerful hallucinogen that, although we have commonly running through our circuitry,
it blows its load right before you die.
Exactly.
And it blows its load right before you're born. Right before you're born.
So that's why they call it the life molecule and the death molecule. Probably not that specifically. I don't think ancient societies knew that they were getting blown a load of DMT right at the moment of birth and death. Yeah. But maybe they did. Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe they didn't use the word load. You know what I'm saying?
That's up for it.
It could have been something else.
We're arguing semantics at this point. But
careful.
Did you shit yourself when you drank ayahuasca?
Yeah, I did. Long story short, I know that's what you guys.
Wait, so I don't want to go to that yet. I don't want to go to that yet.
I'm sorry.
No, but I really, I want it on here.
All right.
You said I could jump in anytime.
No.
I'm sorry.
You just blew your load.
That was like the highlight of I think you just blew the load of this interview.
That was like the final.
That was the final
most important
follow-up question. I don't really have anywhere to go from here now.
So I want to get into.
Put that later.
I want to get into the ceremony though.
Okay.
So you're going into it. Okay, you drink it, right?
Right.
Where did you do it?
I did it in North Miami, some nice little.
You don't have to give me the address.
I wasn't going to, but some little place. I don't know the address.
Was it zen? Was it chill like this place?
Very much not. It was.
It was like a dark alley.
It was outside in a big backyard with a bunch of people like sitting on towels and somebody.
Did you know the people?
I didn't know anybody there.
I would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, it was super mosquito-y, super hot.
They were biting you the whole time?
All the time. It was the most uncomfortable.
I hate mosquitoes.
Midsummer day, like a midsummer night rather.
You know when they go, you hear them in your ear?
That noise specifically, yeah, that's the
I
worst.
hate that.
Anyways,
this sounds horrible so far.
I don't like this.
It's awful. It was really awful.
I was picturing you were going to say.
It climaxes me with shitting myself. Yeah. So there was a shaman and 2 shaman assistants.
They're your guides.
They're our guides.
What do they look like? Do they look like shaman? Like are they wearing robes?
They looked of
some
I want to say
don't tell me
South
that.
American. No, they were genuine. They were wearing beads. They had all this. They were Colombian actually. They had Colombian regalia, beads all over. Mel can confirm. People in Colombia wear
They wear beads.
wear beads.
I'm sure maybe.
So your
yeah, a
whole
lot of
family,
places
your
wear
whole family
beads.
wears beads typically, or
No, well, the thing is with beads, my understanding is that beads are for saints. So
Right.
that's something, yeah, we don't. So that's different. Or unless this is that, I don't know.
This would be very not.
so they were real
Christian.
saints. You're saying they were actual real saints.
That was my understanding.
Okay, because they were in the so yeah.
So they had a guy, the chief was playing a harmonica, basically one same tune, like da 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 da.
That sounds very tribal.
That's Rafiki from Lion King. I'm sorry.
Okay,
But
so
it was
we're
something-
getting very
something
African,
something very
Colombian.
kitschy, very catchy, and he was just playing on his harmonica, very whimsical, and made it a whole environment.
So it
And he
put you at ease.
And he had one guy playing one other of his assistants playing the Spanish guitar, which was just rhythmic and haunting in its melodies. And they had everybody just sit. There was a fireplace, a table set up behind the fireplace. Not a fireplace, but a fire pit.
Fire pit.
And then a
So
bunch of people.
you could easily fall into this pit.
It's not a pit. It's more just a fire. Yeah, fireplace.
A fire source.
Fireplace is
A
definitely.
candle?
Fireplace is definitely
Maybe
accepted
it was a
vernacular.
candle.
It's like an outdoor
tea
fire
candle.
with centralized location. I didn't just make that up. Fireplaces are a thing.
Great.
So all I thought you were gonna rip that up.
No, please.
Show her. No, I'm just.
Yeah, I'll make that announcement. Okay.
So fireplace. Everybody's set up. Everybody's in like this pretty wide circle. There's about 20, maybe 25 people there besides the chiefs. And everybody's just sitting, chilling out. It's like 9, 10 o'clock. We're supposed to have started around like 11 or like 10. It turns to midnight, and then the chief, they
What was
finally,
taking so long?
I think just putting everybody in the mood. And it was a mood because it was
Calming everybody down.
Calming everybody down.
Getting the vibes right.
Exactly. And so they finally start at like 11. They're like, all right, everybody line up. And they
Line
said
up.
they're speaking through interpreters. I met a couple of the people there. This one guy said he'd done it like hundreds of times. I was like, good Lord. And these other guys are, I'd met a couple people. They seem like nice enough people. I don't know anybody against. So they call everybody up. Everybody lines up. And I don't know if they're taking a drink or what's going on, but like I'm waiting, and everybody goes back to their, after they go line up to the table, go back to their towel or their blanket or their tent, and finally I get up, and there's one guy in front of me, and he like flinches. I still am not sure. We're not doing the drink yet. We're doing something else, and the guy flinches, and I'm like, what? And then I ask him like, oh yeah, they're gonna blow smoke up your nose. And I'm like,
Oh, it's
what?
a tobacco cleansing.
It's called rapé, not rape, but rapé. So what they do is this shaman, he took this like ancient pipe and he
Is it
stuffed
pronounced rape?
It's pronounced rapé.
Rapé.
That's very important. I was like, because you don't want to be yelling out, I want more rape. You don't want that.
Right. So they're
Don't make
raping
that,
you.
Don't make that mistake.
Right,
So
so-
they're raping me from my nose holes.
Oh.
They take a pipe, this weird snake-looking pipe, and they got old tobacco, like apparently ashes on one side, and they put the other side to your nose, and they blow on it. Yeah, and I didn't see it coming.
They blow your own nose.
And they blew it up my nose once, and then they blew it up the other one, and I'm like, oh God. By the second one, I was like almost leveled. Nice.
So what do you do then?
So we then went back. So after that, I stumbled back to my little hovel of a towel and blanket, and it was like that was probably one of the worst parts of it. Like I felt like I was gonna throw up right there.
Did you throw up?
I didn't throw up.
You're supposed to,
inevitably,
though. You're
inevitably,
supposed to.
I'm gonna throw up and shit myself and all.
You're gonna be shitting, puking.
Right. That's
Great.
gonna
This
come
sounds,
later.
This sounds great.
Okay, so I collapse back in. I literally get back to my.
Right after they
my
blow
thing.
your own nose.
After they repaid my nose.
Yeah.
I collapsed. Like
Yeah.
I fall forward
Your
into my
strength
blanket.
has left you, or-
I'm feeling out of my element. I'm super.
Now picture like
I'm
a big
super
burly
sweaty,
man, a big burly man, just
covered in sweat, mosquitoes all over.
He's in a
me, still
loincloth, right? You're in a loincloth.
No, just regular t-shirt and.
Okay.
It could have been a loincloth. No, it
Just
was a
say you-
t-shirt and shorts.
just for
effect. Yeah, okay, loincloth. Yeah, it was a nice hairy loincloth. But so I finished up there, and I collapsed into my thing, and I'm just laying there. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna spend the rest of the night just like this. Wait for spiritual enlightenment.
Yeah, yeah.
And sure enough, one of the guys comes, one of the shamans comes over and there's about something in Spanish.
Yeah.
And like
that sounds Espanol to you.
and then one of the other helpers who translated was like, he says you must sit up and balance yourself. I'm like, okay, all right. So I sit up. I see everybody else doing it. I'm like, all right. So I sit like Indian style and just let it balance out. And sure enough, about 15-20 minutes later, I started feeling like considerably better. And then
because you're on like a outrageous nicotine high.
That's right. It was a pretty bad nicotine, and I don't smoke, so it was pretty rough.
So far this sounds absolutely terrible.
It was weird. It's terrible. So I'm hot. I'm sticky.
Ugh,
I just lost my job.
Mosquitoes are gnawing at your
thinking
neck.
this is just, what am I doing here by myself? Like, where is this going?
Yeah.
And so about a half hour goes by. They do a couple more songs. Song's great. I got a couple videos of the songs. Maybe we can work that.
Yeah,
in. We can dub it. Like point at something and like be there later. No, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have the technology, but it's possible.
I wish you had a big green screen specifically for that purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're probably referring to more professional. Can we have another round?
Look,
please?
this is green.
Yeah,
all right, fine. I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job, but
to be honest, this isn't. I'm kind of a fake.
What?
Yeah, I don't really do this.
What are you trying to say, bud?
I just,
You're kind of coming off as a hack right now, Jack.
Yeah, I can see why
I'm
you'd
not
say
thrilled
that.
with it.
I don't really do stuff like this.
I'm just joking, jerking your chain, man. You're
Yeah,
doing
no, I
great.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I hope this is coming off like. Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay, come on, you're shitting, you're puking,
Well, all right,
No, not yet.
so I'm
Did
back.
you take
I'm
the
back.
ayahuasca
I'm
yet?
sitting
Did
there
you
now.
drink it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there now, and then they come. They have a couple more ceremonious songs, and then they're like, okay, blah blah blah, something in Spanish. Come on up. And I'm like, what's happening now? Obviously, the ayahuasca is being distributed.
Right.
Sure enough, we line up. And I'm at the back of the line there, and we get to the shaman, and he does a whole blowing number. And
sneezes in your face.
Basically sneezes on the cup. They have this black like jar, yay high, just with the like grossest looking black liquid like chunky tar stuff you'd ever seen. He gives a nice crisp shot glass full of it, and he pushes it forward to pushes it to me after does the blowing thing. Like some religious aspect, something there.
Yeah.
And then he has
like I picture something like.
And then I'm just like, okay, onward with the spiritual enlightenment. I take the shot. It's terrible, much worse. Just a small shot. It's terrible. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, great. Here comes the spiritual enlightenment. Shot, like a shot. So I go back to I then I'm just waiting for anything, nothing. And so I traverse on back to my
because you're digesting it, right? It's going to hit you slower than if you had did a bump.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, if you were to vaporize, you can also smoke DMT. If you were to vaporize, it would hit you instantly.
It doesn't burn up any of the essential ingredients in the smoking of it.
So long as you vaporize it. If you smoke it,
I understand. I don't vape, so I'm not familiar with the process.
And I think you can't use it.
Okay.
But yeah, so ayahuasca takes a second. If you're gonna drink it, it takes a second to.
Okay, so you're sitting there just waiting for it to kick in.
So I go back to my little hovel of blanket and
blankets and sheets,
just a blanket and
mosquito nests.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there sweating, waiting for this. I eventually cover up. I'm like,
why, you got cold or?
No, I'm like grossed out because there's mosquitoes all over me. And I'm like sitting in the mud somewhere in like some random backyard.
Frogs nipping at you.
It was definitely very shitty. And immediately after that first round, all the people started. It's a very guttural.
So my next question was like, is this a peaceful thing?
You hear people snorting. You hear people throwing. Some people threw up right away. Some people are like burping.
This sounds like a torture chamber.
Everybody was spitting. Like it was bad. Like it's like you just a lot of guttural noises coming from everybody, me included.
Men and women.
Men and women. Women particularly. It was disgusting. Anyway.
So what did the women sound like grunting?
Sweetie, could you do a rendition?
No.